we've got to sort out this front a little bit. You can see where I use the concrete post to keep it low maintenance. Well, what we've got to do now is I need something to screw to clad the front. So what I've done is half lapped. So just with the chop saw, I've just run the chop saw through a few times and then taken that out. And what I'm going to do is screw them to there, so that then when the car park will come up to the base, we can clad the front of that. So that's just going to be screwed in, so that's straightforward. But then this channel where we're going to put the glass balustrade, so the idea is that you can see straight out to the field. We now need something solid to go under here. So what we're going to do is we're going to put some pieces in there where we can bolt this straight down to. So we've got to reinforce that, so that's going to all be bolted down to there. So that's today's job. So we'll just get on and get a few screws in. I've got my my drill, and we'll get a few in. So I'll just get that all set up, pop that into there and keep it flush, because obviously it needs to be plumb. So we'll just put one into there. Might just get the sprue at level, just drop that on the front, and all the way along as well to as far as the joist goes, and then we can sort of plank this out and clad it, and that'll look a lot nicer than seeing the concrete. So what we're doing, we're just putting the last nogging in underneath there, so you can see we've reinforced the top of all that, so that when we drill through, when we drill the holes through, they've got something really solid to go into, so that's going to make that structure nice and strong. We're just marking the holes. Because the corner bit hadn't arrived, we know it's exactly 200mm from the end, so we've measured in 200mm and just marking the holes. And I'm just going to set up my STS with a drill bit in and get ready to drill them out. So what I'm doing, just drilling these out and trying to keep it vertical as you can, and we'll go down through. It's just about, only just long enough. So what we're doing, we're just peeling this back a little bit, because when we stick it down, we're going to use some adhesive. And when we drop the bolts in, if this is underneath, when you've got to peel it off, it sticks and you can't get it out. So we're just peeling it back a little bit on these. Okay, there we go. Okay. So what we're doing, I'm just putting a blob of silicone here. You can run a bead all the way along, but it isn't needed on this one. This is just extra to stick it down. And obviously, because there's a big gully underneath it, you've got to put quite a lot on, quite big blobs, and that will help just fix. It's another fixing. I mean, the bolts and are the main fixing, and obviously sometimes if you're in a stone wall or a brick wall, you're using resin, and that's a slightly different system. But on here, this is just an extra little thing that we're doing. So what we're doing now is we're just making sure that we get the bolts all nice and done up. So I'm going to tighten up from below, and quite a few of them have got washers. We haven't actually used a washer on every one, but because it's nice and solid this is. But so just using the ratchet and coming underneath. Oh, there's a screw right by this one because we've got a bracket. But we're just ratcheting that up. Just got to get that tighter. Just got to spin in at the top a little bit. So we'll just try and get that. That's it. It's all nice now. It's going in. Yeah, that's it. So just to show you how solid it is, Adam's going to do some press-ups. As you can see, this is part of his physical exercise each day. And it's absolutely solid. You know, there's a lot of weight going on there, and it's not even budging. Yeah, absolutely solid. We were going to be doing the glass balustrading, and the delivery was going to come at 9:30, then it was 11:30, then it was 3:30, and now it's between 4 and 5. So we had to drop onto a different job. So what we've been doing is these edgings. So it's a bit of a car park. And so we're putting, this is a granite set as our edging, and so really it's a question of finding a good line, and then we're just tapping them down to the line. We put about 2 or 3 inches underneath the granite set. Let's have a look, and let's do some, and let's give it a go. Oops, I'm going to sneak by. And so all we do really is, you've got your, just get my trusty trowel, my trusty sword, we'll pop that there. Kind of a not too wet mix, otherwise they float up and down. And so you can find your piece, you can see there by putting that one in. I could put it in and that'll knock down about 1 inch, that'll be plenty. But actually if I turn it round, I've got a much better line there, and then hold it in, tap it down so you're getting it well into your mix. And I'm just a couple of mil off the line, but holding it with the left hand so you keep it tight. And that's got to be haunched up 2/3 on the back. So all we're going to do is we'll pull a bit of that from the front, make sure, because it's the back which is going to take the hammer, the middle will have 40 mil to dust, and then gravel to, that'll be wackered, then gravel. So all the hammer is on the back. So what I'll do, we'll haunch up 2/3 on the back, and on this side, just use the point of the trowel, about 1/3 on the inside, because I was going to take so much hammer. And that really, you can actually put some sets in pretty quick. So mix, just get it just right, not too wet, otherwise they float up and down, and that will work quite well. So there we go. Well, morning from a slightly misty, wet Wales. The delivery was a day late, unfortunately. So here we are, everything's here today, so we're back on it. We've even got our metal pins, and the metal pins, they just go into these slots here. Okay, they go into those slots and they'll get knocked in harder. So there are different ways of doing it. You could use something like this, where just bang them in a bit. I mean, I can actually knock them with the hammer, I don't want to damage them too much, so I'm just going to knock them in. So you can actually just tap them in. So I might just do that. So just to halfway, they got like a spline, and you just want to be halfway down the spline, and then the other one will offer up to it, and we drill it. I've already marked the location, so in these they've got like holes, and I've already set it out. I've already done a pre-drill, so now I'm going to drill down all the way straight through. This one I can set it right. It's just, you could do with some slightly longer bits really. These are just about big enough. Just about, see that popping, you see the sawdust? And that's just coming out the bottom. And then just get that way. See that? And then that one's okay. This one's okay here. Just making sure, ream them out a bit. Makes it a little bit easier. Okay, but yeah, a bigger bit would be a bit better. That's all right, that'll be fine. That's, I suppose, today it's moist, so I can just move them. So what I'm going to do now is offer this back up to here, and then we've got to fix it. So this is where I've got to get all the holes in the same location. That's looking okay. We'll just try and get that all nice and located there, hopefully. Once they start, you're okay. It's just getting them started. So I'll kind of, yeah, I'm okay there. We'll just give it a bit of a tap. See if that's going. Well, that's going in quite a long way already, you can see that. Just a couple of mil to go. And that's up tight now, it's up pretty tight. Maybe tiny little, hardly anything really. Just checking the holes are all nice and lined up. That one more. That's it. They're all ready to go. Just needs a little bit of tweak that way. All the holes are looking good. So the next stage, we'll drop the bolts through. So this is what you want these just to go through without too much hassle. We'll see how we go. So number one, let's see if that one goes in. Let's pop it in. I'm just going to use a little pick hammer. Tap that in. Ooh, a bit tight. That's through. Actually, I should really do the other end, would be good. I'm going to have to do this. Could drill slightly bigger holes if you wanted to. Make life easier for yourself. I'll put my goggles on. There's a bit of a mushroom head on that one. Put my goggles on. So a bigger hole would certainly make life a lot easier. They're going in. They're down. They're going to be tight. There's no way this is coming out. So there we go. So we're now getting to the more exciting bit where we've got to put these in, and the way they work, they've got a little adjustable thing later, and that faces you, so that's going to go in there and adjust the angle of the glass. So see that just pops in there, and that'll tilt the glass, but that's for later. But for now, all we've got to do is put them at 334 mil apart. Now I've measured this, and it's actually pretty much 2 bolts. Put that one in front of the bolt and that one in front of that one, and that will be exactly 334. So it's already kind of set up there, so I can just put that one in. This bit faces outwards, so the bit that you're going to adjust later, which goes in there, is on the inside. So now we can just literally go along and drop them in. So, and they'll just click into place. And then we're going to have something else later which goes in between them, which actually tightens up. So these go in first. So they're the 334 apart. So this is it's nice to get to this stage. You feel as though you can really crack on a bit, actually, to be honest. Saying that, is this hit a problem? That one does not want to go down for some reason. Let me just take that out a second. Don't know why that is. I should go into that. Let's try again. It doesn't want to. I don't know why that one's been awkward. Just does not want to go down. Let's pull that out. It will come out. Oh god. Just slide it right to the end. Ridiculous. So let me try again. That goes in there. That should push in without any problem at all. And look at that, it does. Amazing. It's just building up a head of steam and came to a fast stop. Let's get that out. I could have done with a bit of clean out of the thing really, but there you go, that's it. This is really nice. It's quite therapeutic actually. You feel as though you're doing something. Next stage is to put the beading on the outside, and what you've got is an F-shaped beading. So that's the one you want. There are 2 different kinds. This is the one you want on the outside, then there's a bigger one that goes on the inside. So obviously we want to make sure that that F is going in there. We're going to push that in. Nice, just sits in. Just work it in a bit. That's going to be what the glass pushes up against. So we've just got to really just bead that along and get that in. So that should stay in there nicely. So it's just a question of working that beading in, and that's why you want a bit of salt and pepper music. Careful, the cameraman's going. Oh no!
Can you call an ambulance?
To charge you after.
I've broken my leg.
Bit of salt and pepper music, I was going to say. Push it good. Here we go. Anyway, that's you get that. Gonna put that in there. So we've got to go all the way along now. Do the beading. Okay. So we've been putting the glass panes in, just lifting them in. Now here's a couple of things that you need to be aware of. This rubber seal, which is quite tricky getting that seated right. It has the habit of twisting as you do it. So actually it's quite good if you've got something just to lever it back. So one of us holds the pane right back and then the other one can get in. So like here, I'm just trying to lean it upwards so that when the glass goes, it doesn't dip under. Like you see there, that can dip backwards. I want the water to shed that way really. You can also see a spacer here. So we got 26 mil between each panel, so we've got 2 to go. We're going to double check that as well now. Once we've got this one in, just in case we've got to eke them up. So just before we put this one in, we'll do that. And then in between the uprights, you've got one of these. And this bit, the little bridge if you like, faces into it. And we put them in between. You just slide them in and knock them down just below the surface, but not too hard, because there's going to be a final knocking in at the end. But what I'm going to do now, I'm going to get the tape measure and just double check that our measurements are going to work out, or we might have to just even it out. So that's my next job. So just going to double check that. So what I've got is the tape measure's gone and sprung, which is great. Never mind, I can still use it. So what we've got at the moment, we've got here these glass panels. So the glass panels are 105 centimeters. Okay, so and we're allowing 2.5 centimeters gaps. So that's 107.5. Okay, 107.5. So if you look at this, 107.5 is here. Okay, so I'm just looking to see how it's going to work out, and you can see that is 107.5. It's just happy to see the marking. That is absolutely bang on.
Bravo!
So we're okay. We can proceed. That's how good we're doing that. My spring is sprung. These just fit. Look, that little wrench there goes in, and you put them between the other ones. So you see that just goes down there. You get your rubber mallet, tap that down just below the surface. So they sit there. Then later on we'll knock them down further. But even now it's getting more rigid. But we've also got to adjust the angle of the glass to get them all absolutely in sync with one another. So these have got a slightly out of alignment. Put that there. So what I'm doing with the spirit level, I'm going to pull them back, but the idea is you want to get them all absolutely beautifully aligned. So what you have to do is you have to insert this tool quite a way down, and to pull it that way I'm going to pull it backwards. That will help to pull that back a bit. Okay, so I'm going right over there, and I'm going to do the same with this one here and hope that that will drag it back. Yeah, it's definitely dragging it back. You can see it move that far end. Needs more though. It needs more this end, doesn't it? That's the thing. So maybe I might have to adjust that one back there. It has pulled that in quite a bit actually. That now, just a fraction back. I've just got to come. I'll just do the last one here. Pull it back. You can see it moving. Get that right in, and then pull that back. You can actually see that move, and that's that. You can get it out, of course. Quite tight. It's pulled it quite a bit. It's just a fraction out now. So what I'm going to do, the other one, I'm going to pull back the other way a bit to get it aligned. So this one, I'm going to go back the other way a little bit, and now I see that now is all nice and aligned. So those two are in alignment. We started from the middle working out, so now this one I've got to go that way So I've got to go forward with this one. So again, I put it in there, and then I'm going to go that way with that one, just to pull that over a bit. It's because it's tight in there, it really is tight. What's that like now? Is that looking better? We can do it, you know, could put a line across, obviously, just to get it absolutely, but I think that's improved that. So what we're doing now, you can get a tool which has got a slight sort of L on it. That didn't come, so I'm going to use one of these, and I'm just knocking it below, just so I can get the seal in.
A bit more.
There's another seal to go in there.
A bit more if you want.
And we're going to just tap that in a bit more. And the effect, that tends to bring it this way, actually, doesn't it?
Can you maximise that?
Right. That's about as far as I go.
Better.
And then what we have, in order to do the final sort of tightening, you've got this. And again, you have to keep an eye on things, because when you knock this in, that knocks this piece, if you like, it knocks that to the floor, so you are getting a bit of tightening as you go. So what I'm doing is just tap that in. That's actually there. Yep, that one's there. That one's there. That one's at the bottom. Yep, I mean, I've just got to do the one on the end here. We'll just get these clips in. Get them below the surface. There we go. One to go there, and then we can swap over, pop that in, putting obviously the rubber to the glass, and that's it, that's got them in. And so the next stage actually is to put the seal on. So we're on the final stage of putting the beading in, and this is great because this I've just got three little pieces here. There's three like sort of instead of an F, it's like an E shape, and I've put that against the glass because that's the thicker end, and the water will shed outwards then. So this one is just placing the beading in and just run your finger across it. So this one is a lot more straightforward than the certainly the F section. Probably need to wind that fully out, but there you go. So it's just sort of feed that in, and that covers up all those purple spacers and wedges and everything else. And so once we've done this, we're pretty much done. And
can we go home?
Then I think we're on our way home. There we go. I just popped the end caps on there just to tidy up the sides a little bit. There's going to be a little post going down there, and then that'll be a link to the set of steps.
Okay then, so
okay.
Hang on. 3, 2, 1.
Nearly at the end, and all we're going to do is rip this off, a bit of a clean up, and then the job is done. And the best bit is doing this bit.
Hey.
Just go hand over hand, don't allow it to go too long, and then that way is the way to do it. I've got to let Adam do some because he'll want the joy of doing this. This is very exciting. Oh, look at this, this is great, isn't it? Oh, look at that, he's not doing the hand, oh, he's doing a backward hand movement. That's dangerous, it could rip. Oh, there it is, it's okay, that's all right. That's okay, and there's just one little strip to do now. One little tiny bit to do. And the dog's loving it. The dog's thinking, why can't I get, oh no. Oh, he's broken it in the middle. Oh, here we go again. Can he get to a finish? Yes. No, oh, there's 1 or 2 bits to cut off afterwards, but never mind. And here we go. It's nearly light. It's gonna join up, and yes, he's done it.